So, dear customers, we are back here with Peter in front of our entire ETOS system. So now we would like to talk with you about the point visualization. What does it mean and what is behind the possibility of visualizing supply data? So Peter, we learned that data are generated and supplied by the system by sensor technologies. What options do we have to see the data visualized?
Well, thank you, Stefan. Yeah, here in our co-creation center, we have a big touchscreen to visualize all the informations coming from ETOS. But the system behind that is a simple web-based visualization, like a website. So all we need is a web browser, up-to-date web browser, to display that visualization. So we enter our standard IP address, and then we land here right at the home screen of ETOS. And well, this then has several aspects here. In the center, the pictogram of the power transformer with all the interesting information at one glance is our main functional view. Then on top, we have some short keys here, the maintenance and the communication from the starting page. And then on the right side, we have the home button. We have the event screen. We can jump in there and look at the currently pending events. Then below that, information. We have info on the system with hardware and software, for example, the recorder and the settings where we can change parameters, events, administration, digital and analog configuration. All of that can be found in there. And then lastly, I want to focus on the administrative bar here in the lower end. We can not only change language and currently active user. If you focus on that little MR logo down here, if you click that, the browser will open a new tab and open the manual for this specific ETOS.
Okay. It looks basically self-explaining. It's quite an easy structure. Basically, it's a web-based interface. You need the IP address you mentioned already. On the upper part, we are receiving information about maintenance and communication. If we jump in, of course, we see more details. What is behind that bars? On the right-hand side, you told us events, what has happened on the transformer, information, and setting, of course, input all the required parameters to adjust the system. And here on the below bar, you have administration buttons to have a look on. In the center here, in the heart of the visualization, is, of course, the point of major interest, the power transformer. Peter, what is behind the different sections here?
Well, we have several different icons here, several sections, as you said. For example, if we have an integrated drive solution, then we get all the all the interesting information about the drive system here. If we click on that, I can always return with the home screen to that starting page. That's the AVR. So the full AVR picture, all the necessary features are integrated here. Then we have the DGA down here, for example, with absolute values, for example, being displayed at 1 or 2 clicks. We can also look at, for example, the Duval triangle for the evaluation of the gases. So all of this can be found very easily from the home screen. That section here is for the tab changer monitoring, for the transformer monitoring, the cooling system. We have the bushings up here, bushing monitoring with C1 and tangent delta values. So all of that, as you said, structured where it is located, where it can be found with all the interesting information.
Sounds and looks definitely very logical. We can see all important parameters around the power transformer. And if we click on, we can jump in, see the absolute values, get information about analysis, for example, the DGA values, as we could see. Very, very good. Peter, talking about communication, how the data are transferred to the control room. How this is realized?
Well, in that case, we need to separate two worlds. Well, on the one side, we have the visualization, mainly, as the name says, for visualizing the data and setting parameters, for example. We can transfer that via a remote system as well to a control room or so. But the main idea here is definitely the SCADA connection. So therefore, we supply all the up-to-date protocols, for example, Ethernet-based protocols like the IEC 61850, GOOS and MMS messages. Then the MQTT is also part of the new standard for ETOS, so available upon request. DNP3, Modbus, TCP, all these classical protocols are available, but also the, let's say, a bit older protocols based on serial connections like Modbus RTU or the DNP3 over serial communication or the IC 6870 protocols are available here. And then we can take all the information for full SCADA integration of that ETOS system easily through one cable to the customer control room or whatever the customer wants this info to go.
Okay, I see. So using all options of communication, the users, the customer can get that screen into their terminal or into their SCADA system, having a look on it precisely. Sounds very logical.
Exactly. Visualization or full SCADA integration. Both is possible at the same time as well.
Okay. All right. So then thank you, Peter, for giving us an inside view about the topic visualization of the supplied data.
You're welcome.
Thank you.